Right, so hello, I'm Hugh, and this is obviously the video showcasing everything that I've got for my final submission. I'll start by just saying that there's a lot of things that have broken since earlier versions of the project that obviously if I had time I'd have liked to fix, but I've figured out ways around it so far, and most of the stuff that in my project is still there. To start with then, obviously there's this UI, it's got the key bindings here. I'm playing with gamepad this time around, but again, keyboard does work. Quit, that will quit the game, and play. Here, as you can see, I originally planned for 2 game modes. Never got the chance to implement deathmatch in the end, just didn't have the time. So instead, we use Payload. It's 1 to 2 player co-op. I'm on my own right now, so we're going to do 1 player, but it does work 2 players as well. And in we go. It's the countdown to begin, and here we are. You spawn with the basic turret, as you can see, with the payload in the middle, with the track, and you can obviously see the enemies down in the bottom right there. If you move to the payload, it will move along. If an enemy gets in there, it stops, or if there's only enemies there, it will head backwards. Classic twin stick shooter. To kill them. There's the items. I showcased these last time around, but you got the health regen, and you got the infinite ammo as well. Something, as I said, there's a few things that have broken. One of those things is that the enemies no longer drop weapons when they die, they'll only drop items. So I've had to put the weapons in as like just standard pickup spots. I've put 1 for where each of the enemy groups are. One thing I will note is that for single player, although I seem to be doing reasonably well at the moment, it is quite hard. The balance is rather hard for single player. For 2 players it's a bit better. When you reach one of those checkpoints there, you get there's nothing that tells you about it, but you do get a life, and the payload can't actually be pushed back past one of those points by the enemies. You can only go back to it. Another thing that has broken a couple of the weapons. The enemies, you'll see them now in not this wave here, but the next one. You can see a couple of them there with lasers. Works for the enemies fine, they've just stopped working for the player for some reason. It doesn't let me damage enemies with them. There we are, there's the death. Something I just want to mention here then during editing is obviously this screen here that happens when you die. Again, it's one of the things that I'd have liked to have fixed for the end, but I couldn't figure out why it was doing it, and I just ran out of time in the end, so I left it there. But for a final version of the game, this would be changed. Obviously it wouldn't look like this when you die. Yeah, you get 3 standard lives, and each time you reach a checkpoint you get another life. Here's another weapon, the homing rocket launcher. Again, it's twin stick still, so you got the movement, and then the one that you usually use to aim, again you still use it to aim, but you move around that little bit of UI there, which is what they constantly head towards. You also saw there the no ammo announcement. There's the first loss condition, there we are. The payload ran out of health. There is another loss condition where if you lose all your lives, in 2 players that works that if one person loses all of their lives but someone else has another one, someone else still have lives, it won't end the game, it will keep going, and if the one player that's left manages to get them to a checkpoint, then the other person can come back in, they'll be respawned with 1 life. But yeah, here's obviously the game over screen. There's the options to quit to menu, quit game, or restart. I'll just restart it. There we go, it reloads the level, and away we go. I will cut from here then to the winning of the level, or something else if there's something else I need to speak about. Something I can speak about actually is the AI on the enemy tanks. Obviously they are stationary until you get close enough, until either you or the payload gets close enough for them to sense you, and then they will move towards you or the payload and attack, and they will continue to do that until either they die or you die. So here we are nearing the end. See, there's got that one last enemy to kill up there, and now we can push the payload all the way to the end here, and there we are. Escorted the payload successfully. That's the win. Aside from that, I don't think I've got too much else to show. Quit menu here, brings back the menu again. I will quickly do 2-player myself. You can see here there's the two UIs. The second player one is on the left side of the screen, no, the right side of the screen, sorry. First player is on the left. It does the same with the item inventory, which I will now show you. There we are. And as you can see there, they switched them both around. So they both got their own HUDs and inventories. The final thing to talk about here then is this pause menu, brought up by start on a gamepad or escape on keyboard. All the buttons there, they do exactly what you'd expect. You've got the resume game, the keybind needs to check the controls, and the quit to main menu or quit game.